With it being the Christmas season, Emmeline and I have been making all kinds of ornaments. And as we've been making the ornaments, I've been making bows upon bows upon bows. I've also used them for decorations around the house, on presents. I mean, it's fabulous the number of things that you can use all the adorable Christmas ribbons for. I got to thinking back on the time when I couldn't make a bow for anything, and I started thinking that it might be good for me to share my technique with you because it is so simple and turns out beautifully nearly every time. I'm going to show you how to make a double bow today. You can use the same technique to do all kinds of different bows, but this is the particular one that I'm going to show you. This one in particular is 2.5-inch ribbon, and it does have a little bit of wire to it. You start by cutting your ribbon about 4 feet long, and then you take the end, create your tail about 6 inches, and hold it in between your 2 fingers. You twist it, wrap it around those 2 fingers. You want to keep your fingers kind of stretched out. And then you'll twist it again. Wrap it around those 2 fingers. Twist it again. Wrap it around those 2. Twist it again. Wrap it around those 2. It's a little awkward when you first start to just kind of keep your fingers organized, I suppose. If you have smaller ribbon, you can hold your hands closer together and then it makes it so the bow's not quite as big, but for this size, this is how I would do it. And then you're going to want to take this long tail that you have and tuck it in between your 2nd and your 3rd finger there. And you want to keep it so that the decorative portion of it is on the outside. And then I just kind of put my thumb in so that I maintain a little gap because we'll need that later. And I once again go into that gap in between my 2nd and my 3rd finger. And I pull it out, and you want to pull it out on this side of your thumb, the side that's next to where the tail is. And the reason for that is that we are actually going to feed this through that loop that we just made with it. And so now there'll be a tail on each side. And then you just kind of slowly work it down, trying to make it cute along the way, especially with these ones that have the different colored edges. I like to kind of pull that out to make sure that it looks good. And you'll have more opportunity for that as you pull your fingers out of this here. Once I get it nice and firm in there, that's when I start playing with it to make it cute. And this is where I really like the wire just because it helps so much. You can see you just make it nice and fluffy. You make sure that it has nice turns to it. I tend to take the top one and put it towards the top. It just seems to work out better that way. And then stretching out this center one, center piece of ribbon, tends to make it look cuter too. Now if you find, like mine, it has a slightly smaller side than the other, then you can just kind of shift it because these just went back and forth. So all you have to do is gently pull on it, figure out which side you need to pull on to move what you need to move. And then that centers it better. There we go. I really like that red being right at the edge so that I can see it. So make those edges nice and poofy, just kind of play with them. And then you just have to trim your tails. And to do that, you fold them in half and dovetail them. And then you want to get the other one right about the same level, which sometimes takes a time or two to get there. Okay, and that looks like that's at the same level. And you can see just how easy it was to make that bow. Not a big deal. So I've made multiple of these. You can see that the different colors and textures can make a big difference on the feel of it. Sometimes it's kind of fun to have one that has a little more color and design to it. I really like the ones that have the glitter on the edges, because I feel like that draws your eye to it and lets you see just how intricate a bow it is. Additionally, you can do smaller bows with this same technique, but with these small bows, you just used 2 fingers, and that's still a double bow. And let's see, so this one doesn't have any wire in it. It's still super cute. In fact, you do something like this for a little hair bow, and that would be really fun. I also wanted to show you the difference between this kind of bow, which is the kind that I used to do, which is essentially your classic shoestring tying one, and then this one, which is using the same technique that I just showed you, except for just doing it with the 1 loop. So for this one, you would just use your 2 fingers. So you hold it at the tail, wrap it around the 1 finger, wrap it around the other finger, go underneath, use your thumb to create that gap, go underneath again, and then just tuck it in. It's a little bit harder always working with these tiny ones. And then you just work it down. And then carefully take it off your fingers. And it's such a better bow. Let me see if I can hold these up for you so that you can see the difference. I mean, that was a really quick bow, and this is the bow that I used to make. I mean, look at the difference there. They're both simple, but this one is so much prettier. As you can see, this technique is really easy, super versatile for all kinds of different bows, and I hope that you make many beautiful things that you enjoy.